Good evening, folks. How you guys doing tonight? Happy to have you here.
How was everyone's Easter?
Did you have a good Easter?
Yep, I did.
I did too. It was nice to kind of take the night off and just enjoyed it with you guys and friends
Can't
and family.
be with the ones you love.
That's true. Thank you, Mr. Sevens. Is that 70s or 60s? I'm not sure. DJ
How
Whitehouse?
about both?
All right, we'll go
Both
with
work?
that.
Okay.
60s moving forward. DJ, how was your Easter? Up. As some of you can tell, we're back in the studio. We've got a little bit of a different setup than we've had in the past. Hopefully things are coming through clear for you guys.
Those are real bricks.
And
what am I doing?
I think he's trying to keep you from slouching. You gonna show us your tickets to the gun show again, like you were showing a while ago? No. All right.
Hey, the election is over.
It is over. Congratulations to those who won. Congratulations to Mr. Parkinson, new Mayor Parkinson. When is the inauguration? Do you know when?
I read May 4th.
May 4th? All right.
Yes, and I hope May 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you, Mr. Mayor Parkinson. How about Edwardsville? Same thing, May 4th?
That I know.
Yeah. So congratulations, Art, as well. You know, Mayor Razavi. It's
Is that not how you say it? Could you correct us with
yes,
that?
Yes, please
DJ?
correct me.
He can't.
It's no, you're right. It's Razavi. It's
Razavi. Okay, that's what I
thought. It's actually it's more like a Reserve kind of sound.
You
know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah.
Like fine wine. Reserve.
Yeah.
Tish, you spoke French.
Not so much Hindi, but more.
Okay, that's good.
Oh, we're gonna get canceled.
Hey, but you know what? Now that the election's over, we have some focuses where to put our stuff. And for the people that didn't win, keep your aldermen, your mayors, school boards in check. Make sure they're honest. Make sure push your ideas forward.
Yeah, attend those the town halls, council meetings, and things like that, and make your voice be heard. Especially if you guys, if you want to gripe about living in the town you're living in, do something about it. Because
and you know what? It's a good thing you bring that up because right after our candidate show, we got not in touch, but someone reached out to us from the Grand City Economic
Department.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, all right.
That word. That's the word I was looking for.
Department. Yes.
So I mean, there's a lot of questions I think you and I both have for this person, and hopefully that they'll be able to come on soon and answer those for you because there's a lot of changes going on in the town that we're in right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, we do broadcast out of Granite City, Illinois. We are a nationwide show, though. Hopefully, I know we've got one listener over in Egypt, so thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Woo!
And so I guess that makes us international. Man, Mac and Chuck International.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
So, well, dream big, shoot big. You might
settle for itty bitty.
I'm not gonna settle for itty bitty. Don't settle for anything. Anyone ever tells you to settle for something, tell them to Shoot for the moon.
Any more cliches you want to throw out there?
You miss 99%. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Come to us by number 99 himself, Mr. Wayne Gretzky. I'm done now.
No, I think you got one here.
No, I don't think I do. I do have a shout out to give this week, though.
Shoot it out.
So, for those of you who are looking for restaurants that are open in the local Granite City area, check out Mama Mia's over on Madison Avenue in Granite City. The guy there is a really great guy, a real nice guy, takes care of his customers. And if you get a chance, I think it's on Tuesdays. I might be a little wrong, but check out the stuffed pepper soup. Oh my gosh. Mac, have you ever had it?
I have not. Sounds quite yummy.
Oh, it is so good.
Is that where the pepper is the bowl?
No, the pepper is not the bowl.
That'd be kind of messy if the pepper was.
That's
the
what I
bowl.
was
Yeah,
thinking.
that would be, yes. But really good place to eat. Really cool servers there. Very well priced. They are open for business, and if you want to support small, check that out. Keep your eyes open because as other restaurants open up in the Granite City area, we're going to let our viewers know about them.
Aren't there a couple barbecue
There are.
places that open?
I know there's Binions, I believe, is open.
Okay.
And I want to say,
There's one.
is Steel City still open, or did
No,
they close
they
at
closed with
Ravenelli's?
Ravenelli's.
Okay, Ravenelli's, we were sorry to see you go. But, Ravenelli's still open in Collinsville, so if you want to take the small trip out there to see them, highly recommend it. Good food there also. But there's Binions, and I wanted to say there is one more here in Granite.
What's that new Mexican place that opened up in Pontoon?
Oh, Tres Caminos.
Just Caminos.
Yeah.
Sure. You are a fan.
I am a fan, actually. They're very tasty. So Tres Caminos is good.
I hope you mean the food.
No, not
I'm
the
just
people.
glad to see that building not abandoned anymore.
Right. No, my name's not Jeffrey Dahmer. I don't eat people. Interesting fact, though. I hear that if you do eat people, it's not very healthy for you. So you might want to avoid the people.
Was
who
it
eat
high in
well.
cholesterol?
I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure if it's a genetic defect or whatever,
A
but
genetic defect. Fantastic.
yeah, something like that. So if you, the listeners, know or the viewers know, let us know in the comments.
What? Hey, have you ever found any problems with eating human?
Well, you never know. There may be a biologist out there watching the show
That ate human?
that knows why you should not eat human beings, besides the moral factor on there. But
A slight disgusting factor.
yeah,
That's like
true.
an egg. That's like a chicken eating an egg.
I guess. Yeah, true. That'd be more like an unborn fetus, though, right?
All right, come on, Mr. Technical.
All right.
Why do I
So
need
we got a great guest on the show tonight. We're going to start a new segment. We kind of teased it about a week or so ago with you guys. I've been called worse. We have a gentleman on the show tonight. He's going to be answering some real estate questions that you guys might have if you're looking to purchase a home. He's got some answers there. If you're looking to have your home inspected, he's got some answers there for you also.
How about podcast co-host brains? Expected there.
You don't want to eat these brains if that's what you're thinking about.
No, I am not a zombie.
Yeah. No,
I'm
I don't.
asking if he can expect your brain.
What?
Inspect your brain?
Oh, I don't know. We'll ask him when he gets on here if he can inspect my brain. I don't know that anyone wants to crawl around inside this head though.
That's your third one. I don't know if I can hold that.
So if you guys would, we're going to bring Bob Madewell on here in just a few minutes, and then we're going to, we also like to make sure you got any questions for him. He's going to answer those for us, and then also if you have any other questions you'd like to comment on or just kind of talk about the week in review, kind of how your week has been, please, by all means, click on the link that we provided in the comments
This
area.
one right here?
That one right there. That one right there.
Could it be
Look
any
in
of the two?
comments. It could be any of the two.
Okay, fantastic.
Chances are you're probably watching on, just one of the three. So, but yeah, we'd love to have you guys comment.
Bob Madewell says he does not inspect brains.
He does not. All right. Well, I guess that's good to know. So, but
I
he
guess
does inspect basements, though.
I guess your brain's safe for another day.
Sweet, awesome. With that being said, why don't we go and bring on Bob?
Hi, can you hear me?
He can hear you. Can you hear us?
For some reason, it's a little lower than your backstage guy, but yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so we actually just get a message from Erica telling us that our volume is not loud enough. Come on, TJ Whiteout, can you do something about that for us over there?
I think I can.
Well, I hope
All right.
you can. Thank you, you little tank engine.
So his name's TJ?
That's DJ Whiteout.
DJ Whiteout.
DJ.
Yeah, otherwise known as Alan Hill, my son.
DJ, I can hear him really well, but you two are a little lower.
Okay, so
How's it now?
Can you hear me now?
how about now, Bob? Can you hear us better now?
I mean, I can hear you. You guys still sound lower than DJ.
Okay. Well,
Just letting you know.
no, appreciate the feedback. We always appreciate the feedback. I'll
Let's
line
do
that
this.
mic up.
I
How about now, Bob? Can you hear us better?
can hear you better, Chuck. Yes. How about Mac?
Okay.
That's much better. Yes. I have one. I don't have a lapel mic. I have this little fancy from when I did my podcasting days.
Look at that.
Bob's.
Are you jealous now?
Look at the brain on Bob.
So a long time ago in a land far, far away, me and Anthony, you know Anthony, Chuck, we did a podcast called Outright Geeks where we talked about all things pop culture. I was the comic book guy, the superhero guy. Anthony was into board games. He knew a little bit about sports. And then we had a couple other people on there. So we did one of those podcasts way before even home inspecting. So it's been at least 7 years since that's happened.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember you saying something about that before. That's awesome. And podcasts have definitely evolved over the years, especially with like we use StreamYard to bring what we bring to you guys. So and there are all kinds of them out there now. I mean, we've tried different ones, but StreamYard seems to be the one that kind of gives us the best bang for our buck. And so, but what platform?
So podcasters out there, StreamYard for all your podcasting needs.
Not sponsored by StreamYard, but
That was the shameless plug of the evening.
Shameless plug.
Yes.
so tell you what.
And you have to forgive me. My camera's in front of me, but my screen's over here. So if you see me looking back and forth, that. Oh, okay, gotcha.
We're working on figuring that one out yet. So, but Erica and Patty, I just want to make a call out to you guys straight. Can you guys hear us better now? Because we want to make sure that you guys can hear us. We know that Bob can hear us. Bob's tapped into the show right now. So we just want to make sure that everyone can hear us out there in podcast land.
Oh, I still, you know what? I just noticed I still have my little mask on. I wear it around my neck to make it easy for the real estate world in case I need it fast.
He threw up that mask pretty quick. Is he trying to rob us?
Now they call that a gator, right?
Yeah, a gator. You are correct.
All right. So Erica says that they can hear us just a little better. So DJ, why don't you bring the gain up just a little bit more, and then we're going to go ahead and move into Bob's segment. There we go. That should be better for you guys.
Hopefully.
To hear us a little.
You sound a lot better now. Yes.
All right. Awesome.
Good job.
So Bob, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do and why we have you on the Ask the Expert section?
So I'm now a real estate agent, but my background is 5 years of being a home inspector. I own Madewell Inspections. Your home doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be made well. And it happens to be my last name. My wife is the one that came up with that. She is the one with the brains when it comes to those types of little taglines. And I get brownie points every time I make sure that people know she came up with that line. So she'll be happy to hear that.
I'm most, successful men.
So 5 years as a home inspector. I became ASHI certified because we have a couple of industries that kind of regulate what we do. I became ASHI certified, and then I became INTRNASHI certified, and then I went above and beyond and became a certified master inspector, which is a title they can never take away from me as long as I don't do anything criminally wrong. But last year with the pandemic, I got sick with COVID in the middle of the year and took some time off because my guys were really concerned about me. I have two other inspectors, Ben and Daryl, and an apprentice. His name is Alex. And they were like, hey, stay home. We don't want you to die. So while I was at home, didn't have anything to do, I decided to take my real estate license class and then took the test and became an agent. I think I might be wrong, but I think there's 14,000 real estate agents in the St. Louis metro area. So out of all of those, there's only one that's also an inspector, and that's me.
Nice. So, Bob, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's the market look like right now as far as real estate goes? Is now a good time to buy, would you say, or is now maybe So is it a better time to buy or a better time to sell, or is the market kind of on a flat line, or how would you describe the real estate market right now?
So it is a great time to sell. It is not so great for buyers because there's a shortage of inventory. So here's the thing: every single real estate agent you talk to is going to talk about how hot the market is, how crazy the market is, and how right now it is a seller's market. With there being a limited inventory, houses are out there, and if they're in good condition and they're priced right, they're getting multiple offers above list, sometimes even above appraisal, which kind of comes into the weird area that we're in. There's two things going on, and I hate saying this word because a lot of people use it as a negative connotation, but millennials are finally coming into their own. So we got these 30-year-olds that are early 30s, mid 30s, and they're done with college, they're established, they're getting married, they're having babies, and they want to buy houses. So we have this influx of buyers, and then the pandemic kind of caused our influx of houses to go away, and then they're just not building houses. So there's another problem because the price of lumber, a 2x4 last year was probably $2, and this year it's $6. I heard somebody say that plywood was $20 last year, and now it's like $40 or $60. So the price of everything to build has become outrageous. So they're not building more house. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying, I can actually attest to that because when I was working on the studio and building things here in the studio, the gentleman over at Page True Value had actually told me, he's like, you literally got the last of what we can sell at this price, because he had told me that because of the lumber shortage and what was going on up north in the Canadian forest, it's causing a lumber shortage. So I mean that definitely makes sense with what you're saying.
Well, the other part of that no one really talks about, and I don't mind talking about anything, is that older people aren't getting out of their houses now because, again, there's a shortage of houses. Where are they going to go? Or they're afraid to go into, say, an assisted living facility or any kind of facility like that, of that nature. We won't say any more names than that, because of COVID. They don't want to go there and then possibly catch COVID in these places. So they're not moving out of their houses. So people are staying in their homes longer and hunkering down, I guess, until people start getting vaccinated. So the inventory of older homes that normally older people would move out of to either go to Florida or Arizona or someplace warmer, they're just not doing that right now. So the inventory is very, very limited.
Gotcha.
Which once again makes it a seller's market, because the houses that do come for sale, if you do want to sell your house, please call me, by the way. But if you do want to sell your house, it's going to be a great time to do so, because once again, tons of buyers, multiple offers. The problem runs into going above appraisal price. So say the house is $100,000, good agent listed it. They did their comps. They did a good job with their comps. And then 10 people bid on it, and they go to say 120, and then they go to appraise it, and it only appraises for 100 or 110. Now they got to come up with $5,000 to $10,000 or more dollars above the appraisal price, because the lender's only going to pay for, lend you the money for that appraisal price. So, I mean, have cash on hand in those situations, or be prepared to have that on top of your down payment and your closing costs. Wow. And that's where an agent like myself, hopefully that's knowledgeable, comes into play and helps you out navigating all that.
Absolutely. The question I would have is, what are the future prospects of the market? Are we looking at maintaining the status quo because of those reasons, or is there going to be a down fluctuation, an up fluctuation? What do you have, like a forecast that you can share with everyone?
Well, let me shake my crystal ball. Hold on. Got to shake the crystal ball. So a lot of people are saying that we're not in the same situation that we were in 2008. I don't know if you guys remember 2008, but it was a horrible time. It was a big bubble that burst. But that was because of bad mortgages. We're not in that situation, but we do have a very unique situation going on with forbearances. People don't like to talk about that, but there have been people that have not been paying on their homes up to at least a year. And once those eviction moratoriums are lifted, and once those forbearances become an issue and come due, there's going to be some houses on the market. Not the greatest situation to have, but there will be more inventory that way. Might not happen next year. I mean, they've already extended the eviction, and the courts aren't taking any cases for any of that stuff until May, I heard, the end of May. Once again, I don't have the info in front of me. I apologize, but I know it's been extended. I think it was April, and now it's May. And they might continue to extend it a little bit further. But it's a horrible situation if you're a renter and or if you're a landlord and you have a renter in your house and you're not making any money and they've been in there for 6 months, a year. It's putting pressure on them as well. So there's been a lot of people that have been like, hey, I want to sell this because if I sell it, then it's not my problem. So there's that going on as well. But I think when the interest rates rise, and they'll eventually have to rise, because right now, they're middle twos to 3. I know mine I bought 3 years ago and I got a 4, which I thought was a good rate back then. When I bought my first house, it was like an 8. So I mean, interest rates will have to eventually rise, and that I think will level out some of the playing field.
So Bob,
but I don't have a good crystal ball.
So that's fine.
Next year maybe, but definitely the year after that, there's going to be some things that happen.
So as a real estate agent, if someone's looking to buy a home and they come to you, obviously with COVID and loss of jobs, credit scores are going to be a major factor in these. I know at one point, 620 would get you into a home, and there's FHA loans and things like that. What advice would you give to someone right now? Because I mean, when you look at, first of all, the government, for some families, the government's just dumped a crap load of money into some bank accounts, and maybe someone's looking to purchase a home, but let's say that their credit has been affected. How would you work with, or what would you consult? How would you consult with someone like that? And before you answer that, if you guys still can't hear Mac and I, please let us know if it's just sound, because we thought we were coming through, but I just got another message that says we can't be heard. So Bob, we're going to give that to you, and DJ, if you want to throw the screen to Bob and let Bob answer that question, we're going to take a look at our sound.
So to answer that question, I know that there are some lenders that will work with somebody with as low as a 580 credit score, but the general rule of thumb is to be at a 6. Talk to a lender, a local lender. And I have some referrals for that if you'd like to reach out to me. But yes, when you reach out to a real estate agent, they should be saying, hey, are you pre-approved? Because right now you can't even put an offer in on a house if you're not pre-approved. I've been telling all my clients, check the 3 major companies for your credit score, just to know where you're at and what you might have to do to correct that. There's Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, and they'll let you check for free. Don't sign up for any of their other bells and whistles. Just the free account will do. They'll let you check it, and you can find out what it is. Knowing what that score is will help you quite a bit, because like I said, you want to be around a 6, at least to have lenders loan to you. Better, having a better credit score is always going to help get you a better, interest rate for your home. Like I said, they've been running around the mid 2s to 3s, depending on what your credit score is, but that'll give you an idea of your purchasing power, because most of the time people start looking on realtor.com or Zillow or just online and start house shopping before they even know how much house they can afford. So, I give them that harsh reality of, hey, you need to talk to a lender and find out, what your situation is, how much you can spend. And then they've been looking at, $150,000 houses and find out they have to look at $100,000 houses. That kind of sucks. It kind of takes the wind out of your sails. I don't know if I am fuzzy, but I hear some kind of background fuzz. I apologize.
I'm pretty sure that you're fine.
Okay.
We're pretty sure it says it may be a cable or something like that. We may actually switch to another form of mic here in just a minute.
You're fine. I just want to let you know. So did that kind of answer your question? Always, once again, talk to a real estate agent, because they're going to be the best one to guide you through all this. We're going to hook you up with that local lender. Later on, we'll hook you up with that inspection company. We'll hook you up with whatever you need to get through the process. My motto is I want to make it super easy, barely an inconvenience. But know that when you talk to these people, these lenders, they're going to want to know your whole life story. And, they're going to go through everything, that has to do with your finances. And they're going to know, how much toilet paper you've been stockpiling since the pandemic started.
Pretty much. Now, the question I had with the credit scores you mentioned was, I recently tried to get mine done. They said due to the pandemic, they don't even talk to anyone that has less than a 640.
Okay. So is that just the lender? Is that just the lender that you talked to? Did you talk to multiple or just one?
I talked to 2 different ones.
Okay. I've been told by the ones that I've been working with, and we can talk offline and I can tell you the names of those people. I don't know if I should be plugging them on air. So I want to be careful of that. But yeah, there's lenders that I've been told by the lender, by these people, that they'll go to at least a 6.
Okay.
580. It used to be 580. Now it's a 6. So they want you to be 6 or above.
Gotcha.
So that has increased, though. I mean, so
It might be 640 now. I'll ask the guys Monday. I'm not going to call them on a Sunday night, but it might have increased. But the last time I talked to somebody, 6 was the lowest they'd like to go.
now look, Bob,
And
the
just
situation is that if we want you to call someone, you got to call them right this minute. But
well, you didn't tell me there was a phone a friend option, Chuck. You didn't tell me there's a phone a friend option.
we definitely appreciate you answering some of these questions and that, because I mean, there are a lot of people that are in situations right now that might not understand, A, do they have the buying power, and B, what they're going to have when they come to the table. So it's really great. So let's shift just a little bit, if you don't mind.
No.
So when people are looking to buy a house, obviously the inspection comes from it. Now, with you being both an inspector and a realtor, there's got to be some kind of restrictions or guidelines on there. Can you kind of lay those out and just kind of, because there may be people that may be confused about what you can and can't do. Can you kind of clarify that a little bit for us?
Absolutely. So if I am helping Mac buy a house, Mac says, Bob, I want you to be my real estate agent. He cannot use Madewell inspections. It's a conflict of interest. And the reason for that is, if my team, because I don't do inspections anymore if I can help it, but my team, they inspect the house, and then we come back with the inspection report and we say, hey, for example, the furnace it needs to be fixed, repaired, whatever. The other side, the listing agent, the person selling the house, and their agent can say, well, they just said that because you're the agent and you're trying to get Mac a better deal. So my moral compass does not go that way, but I understand it. Same way with the home inspectors. A home inspector should never be offering to fix things for you, because they should not have any vested interest in the property, because you don't want a home inspector going, hey, this over here is broken. It's going to cost, if you have me do it, $500 a fix, and it might not even be broken. So there's rules in place for that. So I can, being the confident person that I am, and the abilities of my team, I also can say with confidence that I can recommend somebody that I think is a good inspector that has not Madewell inspections. I know pretty much all the inspectors in the area, and I have a list that I can give you of people that I would trust if I needed my daughter's home to be inspected and I personally couldn't do it. So I try to have that. We can't be the only inspection company. There's 14,000 real estate agents. If all of them sell a house tomorrow, there's no way Madewell inspections can inspect them all. So there's times when we get into the busy season that I have to say, hey, I can't do that on Tuesday because we're booked, but here's this guy that I would trust to send you to. So I have that list. Now, if Mac wants to sell his house, or Chuck wants to sell his house, and he goes, hey, Bob, I want you to be the real estate agent, I can 100% have my guys do what's called a pre-inspection, basically an inspection to get it ready for sale, because the buyer can still have their own personal inspector inspect the house. Now, they might choose just to allow Madewell inspection stand, like, hey, these guys inspected it. We know them. They're a great company. And last year we got voted best of the best of the Riverbend and Madison County area. So we did get that from, I don't know, can I mention riverbender.com? In the Alton and the Edwardsville Intelligencer. Mac, I know you're from Edwardsville. So they had a contest and we were voted into that as the best of the best home inspector. So
nice. Yeah. Congratulations. So let's clarify something else that some
Go
people
ahead.
are unsure about: appraisals and inspections. So an appraisal,
Completely different.
They are different. And just, for our viewers out there, someone who may be watching a little later on in the week, the viewers, they basically, the appraisal is the value of the home, and that is something that has to be done in order for a loan to go through. And the inspection is something that's very highly recommended, but is optional for the buyer. Am I correct in that?
Yes. And in this time, a lot of people are skipping the home inspection because they're trying to make their offer to buy the house more tantalizing, if you will. A better offer, make it, hey, I'm gonna waive the inspection. I would never do that. Even if it's just for your own purposes, I would still get the home inspection. But you are correct. Home inspections are for the buyer's information only. It's highly recommended, but no, it is not. It is optional. And the appraisal, once again, that's usually that process is started by the lender. The lender has the appraiser come out because they want to basically guarantee their purchase, what their money is going to be lended for. So it's completely separate. We get calls all the time if we do appraisals, and we can't. I think that's the one distinction. You can't be a home inspector and an appraiser. You can be a home inspector and a real estate agent. You can be a real estate agent and a radon technician, because I know a real estate agent that does radon testing. So you can hold those licenses, but you can't hold a home inspection license and an appraiser's license. For some reason, that's not allowed in Illinois.
I can see where the conflict of interest may arise in that.
I would only think if you're doing it on the same house. I never understood it. Like if I was appraising a house, I would never inspect it, and vice versa. But I've never had the inclination to be an appraiser, so it's never been something that's like, ooh, I want to do that. The real estate thing I kind of had in the back of my head. You work with these real estate agents for 5 years, like I have, and basically it's like a very long internship. I started seeing all the ins and outs, and basically being the fly on the wall because, oh, he's just the inspector, he ain't listening. But I was always paying attention to these great real estate agents who are doing a good job and making notes. And I'm like, I could do this. And I think that's been the greatest thing that I'm proud of, is that I actually did do it. I'm not trying to pat my own back or toot my horn, but since I started, I've already had 5 closes, which they say that a normal real estate agent, it takes at least 3 to 6 months to even get their first close. So I think it's all the dancing that I do.
Is that what it is?
The Babaloo?
I think it's the Babaloo, yeah. And my great fashion sense, here in my my fetching shirt.
Yeah, we love the shirt. The shirt is awesome. So, Bob, we definitely
Thank you.
appreciate you coming on the show tonight. A great deal. If you want to, you can go ahead and throw your phone number out there for people to, if they either have an inspection need, or maybe they're looking to to buy a home or something like that. One last question that I would like to ask is just kind of, how does it, like, do you strictly do bank mortgage real estate, or do you also work with like contract for deed? Do you work with people who want to do that also?
I don't do anything with contract for deed. It is all real estate purchases. But I do work with a lot of investors. So me having the background that I have, I'm very valuable to investors because I can not only help them with the real estate transaction, we can walk through a property that's distressed, and I can tell them if, that crack is concerning or not. You know what I mean? They may not want every single outlet checked, but they want to know, hey, does that furnace look okay, or does that roof look okay? And I have the ability to say yay or nay to those questions. So investors have utilized me quite a bit. But no contract for deed, just strictly residential sales. I haven't done commercial yet, but I'm not opposed to it. But it'd all be cash or financed.
Okay. All right. Great. Awesome. Well, why don't you give us your digits real quick, and that way people can give you a call when they're watching this if they want to. Bob's a good guy, and know him personally, and so why don't you give us your digits real quick?
So for the real estate side, my name is Bob Madewell. I'm with Century 21 Bailey and Company here in Granite City. And my number is 618-781-3325. And then for Madewell Inspections, like I said, I'm not the home inspector. I just own the company. Madewell Inspections is 618-610-5885. And if you call that number, you'll get Katrina, not me. The first number, you'll get me always.
All right.
Perfect.
All right. And Bob, do you typically work on the weekends, or?
I had an open house today from 1 to 3. That's why I'm wearing the fetching shirt. Normally you see me in my vest because I call it my man purse because it's got all the pockets to hold all my stuff. I'm a big fan of my vest. But yeah, so yes, I work weekends. I pretty much work whenever I need to work to take care of my clients.
Perfect.
I'm a workaholic.
Nothing wrong with that.
Awesome. Well, Bob,
That's what you got to do.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you, Chuck and Mac. I watch the show, and I'm very happy to participate. And please, if you ever want to have me on again, I'd be honored.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you very much.
Have a great night. All right.
Well, the information.
It's always good, especially if you're young.
And we're very loud now.
Yes, we are extremely loud. Can you guys So you guys are kind of our test audience, I guess, tonight to let us know.
These are the clinical trials.
Yeah, our clinical trials. Yeah, so it's always good to have, to talk to Bob. Bob's a great guy to talk with, and need an inspection, I would definitely reach out to Bob. And if you're looking to buy, give Bob a ring at the number that he gave just a few minutes earlier. And so we're working a little bit more. I know we still have a few viewers on there, unless Facebook's lying to us or StreamYard's lying to us.
That wouldn't be the first time, won't be the last.
That's true. That's true. We try. So, anyway, home buying is always kind of a harrowing event. I would always suggest that you use a realtor if you can in whatever situations that there are. When you're buying any kind of home property and even commercial property, I would definitely recommend that. If you have questions, you can have an attorney look over things and that also. So again, thanks, Bob. We appreciate you being on tonight. What do you got going on this week?
I know I mentioned the economic development department recently, and Glicks is going out of business.
I know, man.
It's like one of those staples.
Well, they're not going out of business. That's not entirely true. They're leaving Granite City.
Okay, so
Yes.
the store that's been there since I was born.
Yes.
Yes, I know that's a long time. Let's just not talk about that.
Yeah.
I mean, the store's closed. And they even had a little article on remember the little horse that they had in there?
Mm-hmm.
They had an article I read that had everybody gathered around the horse because I guess
Really?
they're retiring the horse now.
Oh, well.
Go get on that hobby horse one more time.
I guess they're getting off their high horse, though, right? Thank you, folks. I'm here all week. Try the fish. But yeah, no, we've got Glicks is leaving town. I think that they say something about Collinsville, like maybe there's a warehouse or something like that they're opening in Collinsville to focus more on their online business or online distribution. I'm not 100% sure.
I don't have a problem with online businesses at all, but it really takes away from the personal experience, in my opinion. We grew up in a time where you would go try on clothes, walk around the store. Everything wasn't at your fingertips then, and I just really kind of miss that ambiance.
Yeah.
I really do.
I've got a couple different things about how I feel about that. So I like to try clothes on, but I'm kind of getting to a point where when money gets tight, and I'm a big proponent of small business, and I am a big proponent of shopping small, and so I do agree with that. There are times though that when it comes to a budget or whatever, and you need something, sometimes it may be less expensive to get it online. So it's kind of a bittersweet thing. I would never promote, shopping online over shopping in store, shopping with a mom and pop or something like that. But I can kind of understand, why that might be the case. You know what I'm saying? Or why some people would choose to do that.
I can see.
Angie says you can't try anything on right now anyway. Stupid COVID.
Well,
I agree.
I wasn't trying to bring that into the conversation. That's just, anyway, that ruins it. What happened? What are you doing over there?
You're good.
Okay.
I'm trying to get it a little louder.
Not my ears, I hope. Good grief.
No, just through the.
But, with all this stuff going on, not trying to diminish that aspect of it at all, but, when we were kids, we used to always go one place, after church on a Saturday, Sunday morning, we'd all go to the Collinsville Walmart, then to go eat, stuff like that, and
Right.
and I'm glad Edwardsville has a main street, because I really think that's a throwback to a long forgotten day.
I agree. And I think that I'm going to get political here for a minute. I really do believe that Illinois is doing everything it possibly can to run small businesses and citizens or residents out of the state.
Well, even if they're technically not, the optics are there. The optics aren't good.
Even to the point, like if you file your taxes in Illinois, there's a question on there. Or at least it was last year. I'm not finished with my taxes this year, but last year there
Got
were
4 days.
There's no, they extended it into May. I
Oh,
think.
again? Okay.
Yeah. So there's even a question there if you've bought anything online that they want to know what you bought, how much you spent for it, and you got to pay taxes on that. And I just, it's you can only tax people so much to a certain extent until finally they're like, I'm just going to go somewhere else to shop, or I'm going to go live somewhere else.
Yep.
So, I think that's, I mean, I know that's a little off topic about, going in and trying something on but that's kind of what the show is about, is transitioning from one thing to another and delving deeper into, specific topics. But, you're right. There are a lot of businesses in town that are shuttering their doors. Some of it's taxes, some of it's COVID, a lot of it's COVID.
Mhm.
But even then, on some levels, I mean, it's been the involvement of government, that has caused that decline in local businesses.
I mean, again, talking about optics, the optics are there to where it seems like you said, they're trying to shutter the doors of these small businesses, but all the big box stores, all the corporations are open.
So let me ask you a question, because it brings up a really good point. Why? Like, why would you want to shutter the door? Like, I hear that, and I don't know that I necessarily disagree with that, but I hear a lot that the government's trying to close down small business, and maybe you can help me understand this, or maybe someone watching can help us understand this. Is what would be the purpose of that, considering that small business is literally the backbone of the economic structure of our country? What would be the purpose of shutting down small businesses, and what benefit would that gain?
Is that for me?
That's for you.
Oh, mm. The only thing I can think is what's going on over there.
I'm not real sure. DJ, what you got going on over there?
Just trying to get our sound situation together.
Okay, because there's some humming in my ear. We might have to shut the show down a little early tonight.
Well, let's finish up this topic real quick, and then we'll.
Why do I think they're doing it? Why
Yeah.
do I think they're doing it? My opinion is, who donates to their campaigns? Big corporations.
Sure.
I don't see why they would do it, because small businesses make up 70% of the tax base. A lot of businesses are leaving Illinois in mass due to the regulations, the taxes, all this stuff. I mean, people and businesses. So why, I can't say for certain if they are or they aren't, but I mean, it's seemingly like they're doing something negative to this to cause all that to happen. But, like I said, the big box stores never closed. They put all these regulations on the small business owners that, you can't have this many people in here. It's a smaller area, but, you got all these big, for example, these big box stores with all this room, they can let more people in.
Well, let's call it Walmart. I mean, Walmart was able to keep their doors open.
Target was able to keep the
Yeah,
doors open.
Walmart,
Lowe's, but you have all these mom and pop hardware stores or lumber yards or retailers that had to shutter the doors because the regulations put on
Restrictions, right?
by city or state government didn't allow them to keep their doors open.
Yeah,
It's frustrating.
it can be frustrating for sure. And the truth is, we may not know the answer, because again, it's just.
And
It's
this is
not
all
so much,
speculation and
right.
conjecture.
It's not so much a conspiracy theory or pointing the finger at the government. It's more opening a discussion on what would be the point. Like, maybe it is what's going on, and if that's the case, I'd like to know why, just for my own curiosity and for the rights of citizens also to know. And the other question that does need to be answered, while Walmart and Target had minimum or maximum capacity limits and restrictions, they could ask you to stay 6 feet. But I mean, you would go into some of these places, and even the masks that they had on were, under their nose or under their chin or something like that. It was, in my opinion, it was a bit of a farce. Not that COVID is a farce, but just that the restrictions were not
one
fair
set of
across the
rules
board.
for one for another.
Correct. So, folks, we'd love to hear your thoughts on that this week. So if you're watching the show, thank
Chime
you
in.
thank you, and thank you for sticking with us for as long as you have tonight. Unfortunately, I think that due to some, well, Well, Kimberly says government and big box stores are in bed together.
Wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Wouldn't surprise any of us. So, Kim, we appreciate your comment on that for sure. We're going to go ahead and close the show out tonight, I think, a little early. And join us next week. Promise things will be ironed out much more.
Hopefully.
Yeah, no, I promise you they will be ironed out.
Let me write that down.
So, folks, thank you so much for sticking with us tonight. We definitely appreciate that. And, leave your comments down below. And if you have something that you want to talk about or something you'd like to discuss, again, just like always, send us an email. You can message us at facebook.com/Mac and Chuck, or you can email us at macchuck2020@gmail.com.
You had kind of the Mr. Rogers motif going there. You'll have things you want to talk about.
Things you want to talk about.
I do too.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We love you guys. Thanks so much and appreciate you hanging out tonight.
Good night, neighbor.